Go to the grocery store with confidence. Walk the perimeter of the grocery store. Don't walk up and down the aisles. There's nothing in the in-between that's good for you. Even walking into Sprouts yesterday.
Natural grocer Sprouts, I mean, they're going to be better versions, but still, it's going to get into trouble when you get in the middle of that store.
When I was bodybuilding, this was the kind of crap I'd go find all the time. Sunflower oil, canola oil, soybean oil. And there's things added for color, added for color, added for color.
Red flag. This is, by definition, processed food. And to get you to the bliss point where you eat it, maximum pleasure hits, and you're going, oh, and it's protein.
It's roasted almonds. That's the amount of nuts in there. That's 170 calories. And I probably did that 4 or 5 times a day. Do 10 times 200. There's your math right there. You've blown
Whole day's worth of calories.
whole day.
And it's not filling. There you go.
You
There
still got to
go.
go find your meal after you get done doing that crap.
Yep.
You can find enough out there for everything to contradict everything. Stop all the noise and start with the most simple thing you can do, which is single ingredient.
No seed oils, no preservatives,
Pre-packed salad.
not yeah, and you'll know there's no extra bullshit in here.
We recorded a whole damn podcast yesterday, and it captured 1 minute and 28 seconds. And we probably talked too much yesterday, so that was part of it. It's just like, these guys. Off. All right, welcome to the Primal Path. Dr. AJ, Dr. Jason here. We want to start getting into some more actionable stuff. So I had my assistant go out, basically told her, go grab some healthy snacks for the conference room. And so these are our healthy snacks per, let's call it your typical American shopping, to say, hey, what's healthy? Let me go pick some things that would be good for whoever's here. So I will say they're healthier than most snacks I see whenever I'm sitting in a conference room. There's usually donuts, or
It could be worse.
Pizza, there's whatever. So we'll start with like not bad, but not great. So we'll narrow it down. Here's where we'll start. I'm starting here, and I'll try not to crinkle in the mic like crazy, but I mean, first off, you hear that. That's part of the psychological warfare there about food. But these are foods like when I was bodybuilding and doing, healthy eating, this was the kind of crap I'd go find all the time. Like, this would be, oh, I'm in my macros, I can have this, it tastes like chips. And then, and then I'd look now, when I look back at those plates of food, they were a manufactured mess of garbage.
Yes.
I mean, of garbage, but my taste buds loved it because I was in restriction. So every time I was trying to diet down, I was looking for the cheat code to go down that path. We did it. We had tortillas, and back then it was pitas, those flaxseed pitas every single day that are just chock full of crap. But so anyways, these were one I'd go for. Like this was something I would say is in the healthy food stack. My uneducated self would have said.
Yep.
So, and we'll do a close-up of this, but when you look at the back of this bad boy, and I'm not calling out any, brands or anything like that. There's no hate here. This is better than some of your other options, but we're obviously talking about, is this wrecking your gut? Is this leading to more inflammation? Is this causing you to be more sick than you need to be? Sure, if you're a very healthy person and you eat things like this, your body will probably respond, depending on how much you're eating, how often you eat it, So maybe you can bounce some off, but over time, it's going to catch you. So there's an ingredients list on here that literally has a couple chapters. It's so long. And this now, skipping this and going down here, you realize like, oh man, sunflower oil, canola oil, soybean oil. Then you got calcium caseinate. You got cornstarch. Here's some seasonings, which are fine. Then there's things added for color, added for color, added for color. So what we decided today is not to teach you how to go through this. The fact that you're having to go through that probably means put it back on the shelf. Take it out of your pantry, throw it in the trash can.
Yep.
Don't even go for it. Our goal today is to go single ingredient foods, and we're going to tell you why, just to remove all the complication out of this thing. So Macros here are great. I don't know what yours are like. I've got 19 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs, less than a sugar, 5 grams of fat, 1 saturated.
Mine's much better than this one. This one's got a lot more carbs. Only less than 1 gram of dietary fiber too.
So from a macro profile, looks good. When you move down to the ingredient profile,
yeah,
this one fails hard.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and like you said, if you take this, if you just grab this off the shelf and you turn it around, all you looked at was the calories and the macros that are up above. At face value, it looks great, and it's very easy to. Compared to buying candy bars and just complete junk food, this is a step in the right direction. But like he said, if you're having to read through if it needs an appendix and a glossary at the end of it to tell you all the terms for all the ingredients in there, red flag. It took. It took 25 different ingredients to make something so simple as a chip. And so this is by definition processed food. What they did is they started with some sort of protein. They started with some sort of substance, ripped it apart, then they glued it all back together. But at the same time, they added things for as a preservative. They added things for color. They added things for crispness and sweetness. And to get you to the bliss point where you eat it, maximum pleasure hits, and you're going, oh, and it's protein. Your gut probably would not agree, or your gut wouldn't agree, because there's a million ways to get protein in a clean way that doesn't include the 27 ingredients on this list. And that's basically where we're getting at today is look further. Read the whole thing. Don't just read the top. Actually look down there and see the fewer ingredients, the better. And yeah, this out of all these, I would believe these two are probably going to be just at a glance. These are probably going to be the two worst things that we'll talk about from this selection here.
Yep. Other thing to remember is psychological warfare. Everything they do, you hear the crinkling, the colors, all of it is to get you going, damn, I ate these things. I ate them. Yeah. So we're going to rate things. This one's going in the far left pile for me. We'll call this the bad pile. So these should be knowing you're going to wreck your gut going after those. So again, macros, not a bad thing. And if anyone's not sure what macros are, it's just a term thrown around looking at how your calories are coming into your body. What's the composition? How is it made up of your fats, your carbohydrates, and your proteins? And then some combination of those will be the macro profile that you're shooting for. And based on what your dietary needs are, different people have different macro profiles. So you'll find us leaning to a much heavier fat and protein profile because we're very cognizant of insulin.
Very.
And so for us, is a sensitive subject is we want to keep the insulin down. The only way to keep the insulin down is you really got to watch the carbohydrate line. So that's for a different conversation, but those are your macros in case you were wondering. Let's do those kind of bars because I used to eat those puppies too, man. I'd buy them by the box. These are even dark chocolate, right? These are the good ones. Dark chocolate, sea salt. Let's go macros first, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Macros would be a little worse if you're trying to go low carb here, right? Because there's 16 grams of carbs.
Does help more fiber, but
there's more fiber, which is nice, and there's 5 grams of sugar, so it's still not terrible. You're really deleting out a good amount of those carbs. So you guys can take your carbohydrates and subtract the fiber because you're not digesting it. It's not doing anything in your body. So that'll give you an idea of what net carbs are. It has 15 grams of fat, 3 saturated. So, healthier fats from the nuts. Protein is 6 grams. So this is not a protein bar. This is just a calorie dense bar. Mm-hmm. The ingredient list is a lot, shorter than these guys. But you have almonds, peanuts. We still have soy lecithin in here, cocoa butter,
glucose syrup,
palm kernel oil.
Yep.
Okay. So here we go, just right downhill again. Those are all inflammation triggers as you go down. So what looks like it could be a healthy bar, one is not because of the added pieces in here, whether it's for shelf life stability, or it's to roast the nuts that are in here, or some combination of both. It's making this not so healthy of a choice. The other thing I would caution against, just because these are so calorie dense and everything in this basket is that we're going to go through, you're going to overeat this stuff.
Oh, easy. Easy. This would be an appetizer.
Yeah, it's not, this will not make you feel full. This will not, I mean, these got me in trouble a lot because my meals would stay within my calories, and then I would either grab nuts or bars like this, and I would spill over
Easy.
every single time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking 200 calories here. What's in a steak?
Wow. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, something that effect.
Well, and it's with this, again, it's the way it's been put together here. It's got the sugar in there. It's got the salt. It's got the crunch. It's got the chocolate. It's got the nuts. This is basically a candy bar is what it would taste like to me. I don't know about you, but
Oh yeah. I'd eat a box of
exactly. The problem is if there was only one and that's all I ate, maybe that would limit the damage. But I'm the type to, as soon as I ate this one, I'm going to eat all those. And I'm not even going to be full. That's going to make me want to eat even more. Yeah. Yes, they're calories, but they don't bring satiety, and they'll lead to overeating very easily in a day.
Well, just the nuts themselves. So like the selection of nuts, you have to be careful because with nuts, you're looking at omega-3 to omega-6 content in these nuts. And remember, omega-6 is pro-inflammatory. It's going to cause much more inflammation. Your omega-3 is what you're striving for. How much omega-3 can you get in daily?
Right.
So if you look at nut profiles, then you will see that, like what's in here, which is so sad because I love both of them. Almonds and peanuts are both much higher in that content. Almonds have a protective coating on the outside. Peanuts are prone to growing mold, depending on how they're stored. So,
and let's not overlook they're going to contain a certain amount of phytic acid. The more of these you eat, the more the problem. But that phytic acid, what it does, it's an anti-nutrient that actually pulls good nutrients that you already have in your body out of you. They go through like a sponge and deplete you of nutrients. And so if these are done in moderation, it's usually not enough to matter, but it's easy to overdo it on this. And if you do, then you're dealing with anti-nutrients on top of that. Yeah.
All right, so this one's better than this one. We'll set it here in line, and then we got a assortment of nuts. So let's. We've got roasted almonds. We've got pistachios. We've got an almond and walnut unsalted pack.
There's a cranberry.
Oh, nice. And this one's got a little fruit in it, so it's definitely healthier. Cranberry health mix. It says health on it, so
It must be healthy.
omega-3. This one's pushing it. 460 milligrams of omega-3s. A blend of peanuts, cranberries, raisins, sunflower seeds, almonds, golden raisins, and walnuts. So, I look at this real quick. Unsalted peanuts. There's peanuts and peanut oil. Cranberries, sunflower seeds. There's sunflower oil, palm oil. There we go down.
Here are the seed oils. You're in this?
There we go downhill. Sulfur dioxide as a preservative. That should make you feel good. So, again,
But they're not blasting that on the front. That's not listed under the omega-3 460. You know?
160 calories, 5 grams of protein. So this one's packaged nicely to make you think I'm getting a super healthy thing. As I go through the ingredient list, I would almost eat the Kind bar over this.
I would. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's it added so many. You got all these things by themselves. If you went and bought these ingredients, these nuts and berries, as whole foods without all the preservatives and all the seed oils and everything has been added to this to make it last longer,
Much better
on the shelf. Then yeah, you can get, but with all those seed oils added, the whole benefit, the omega-3 that's anti-inflammatory, you blend it with the seed oils, which are oxidized and cause oxidative stress, aka inflammation. It kind of counteracts the omega-3. You're not getting near as much benefit out of that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd skip it. So far, all these are a skip right now. Just if you've got any gut issues or you're dealing with things, from an inflammatory standpoint, autoimmune things and stuff like that, these are the things like will help people who are struggling and they go, I eat pretty healthy, but their healthy choices, they've either been bamboozled by what's out there, or they don't truly understand what's leading to whether it's leaky gut or it's
Inflammation.
other inflammation from
Something's
somewhere
feeding
else.
that fire.
Something's feeding that fire, and it's very easy to make these kinds of mistakes. So let's keep rating here. So I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to put the Kind bars here. This one got me. yesterday when we already recorded this thing. This one got in. So there's no shock factor today, but I used to eat these too because these are just roasted almonds, you know, lightly salted, so really good taste. And I thought these were good little quick packs. Mind you, this little pack right here, look at this, this air, and I'll show you this on all of these. This is what I want to get across. That's the amount of nuts in there. If you look at that, that's 170 calories. Yeah.
Yep. And I can't even get all the air out. It's actually less than that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably fold
So,
it more.
you know, I used to walk by the nut bowl and I'd grab a handful, and I could tell you that this is an easy representation of my handful. And I probably did that 4 or 5 times a day at least. So that's 170 to 200 calories in a swipe.
Yeah, and imagine, you know,
just pop it a
imagine
few.
having the little bucket up,
Think about that.
and you're watching
Bro,
the news or Netflix or a ball game or what. How many of those packets are you gonna eat?
At least 10.
At least.
At least
And
10.
you're just gonna be doing it like you're eating popcorn.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah.
No, at least 10.
Yeah.
So, Jesus, I mean, that's, do 10 times 200. There's your math right there. You've blown
Whole day's worth of
your
calories.
whole
On a
day
snack.
worth of calories on a snack that you still got to go find some food after you're done.
And it's not filling. There you go.
You
There
still got to go find your meal after you're done doing that crap.
Yep, because that's not gonna hit everything.
Yeah. So again, that's another reason I cut nuts out. But this one got me because you've got literally almonds in a bag. And then I read the ingredients. It says almonds, vegetable oil, peanut oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, and sunflower oil. So
5 oils, 5 seed oils, I should say.
So roasting it in one oil wasn't good enough. Let's use all the oils. Literally, all the oils.
Well, and let's be honest, there is such a thing as almond oil. You could use that, and it's part of the almond, but they used all these seed oils instead, which are, again, oxidated.
Yeah.
It's going to go in and cause inflammation. It added something
Yeah.
to this that wasn't going to be there if you just got the almonds. Turned something that was decent into, it's a no-go.
It's a no-go. I also just put it over here because you can go buy raw almonds.
And roasting yourself.
This
Put it
makes
in the-
no sense.
Yeah.
This makes no sense.
No.
So it's in the no sense pile. These two, I don't know if you saw anything different.
We got sugar, we got sunflower oil added to pistachios again. It says natural flavor.
I mean, these ingredients here, this is almonds and this is walnuts.
Okay. So that one's
this one's legit.
That's one of the cleanest ones we got here.
That
Okay.
one's legit.
Boom. Yep.
Walnuts are not a terrible nut. Almonds are, I mean, you can get almonds to a better state by like taking the skin off, getting them skinless and da-da-da-da-da, but they're still going to have some effect on you. But again, this is 100 calories in this little bitty pack. I mean, it's tiny. But on the health scale, it's whooping these.
Yeah, this one's got it's honey roasted, so they're trying to make these pretty sweet, but they didn't just add honey. They also added sugar. They also added natural flavor, which that can you go down that rabbit hole. So no. And then you got the sunflower oil as well. So these I would probably put even on the other side of the Con bars
Yeah.
as well.
But then here's the trade-off. If you get the regular pistachios that are not flavored, one ingredient, pistachios.
Okay.
Well, they got sea salt. Pistachios and sea salt. So
sea
these
salt.
could sit right
Those-
here.
Yep.
Same brand. That's a decision to make. 10 calories less, nothing added. So that's our nuts. We got one other thing here. And I honestly thought when I saw these, I was like, these are going to be trash for sure. I really did. And these are like freeze-dried fruit. Strawberries, pears, apples. And I just thought, oh boy, here we go. And then I turned it over and they're one ingredient. They literally just did a freeze drying process on all of these.
The big thing on here is that when you do look at the macros here, there's not much in this, and it's pure carbohydrates. And it's actually almost pure sugar. So this is going to taste like cotton candy. It's dehydrated strawberries. It's going to be super sweet. It's going to be awesome, but it's also going to cause, on the glycemic index, this is going to be very high, and it's definitely going to cause a massive insulin spike, which that's something we try to avoid. So even though this is clean and there's no preservative, there's no extra stuff, the fact that there is 0 protein, 0 fiber, and 0 fat, and it's just basically pure sugar, that would be what deterred me from this. But I will say, if you handled this stuff well, this is pretty clean.
Yeah.
Pretty clean.
The only thing that would make it go a notch higher is if it was organic.
Because
you don't.
because they don't have to list all the stuff. There's no testing done on this, heavy metals and pesticides and fungicides and all that stuff. Like he said, organic kind of lets you know that they didn't do a bunch of that stuff. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. If you were sitting here and you were starved and there was nothing else to eat, what you could honestly do is you could take one of these, which will give you more of an insulin spike, and I'd probably pick the strawberries because they tend to be lower. Yep, 5 grams of sugar. Lower sugar, and pair it with something super high fat, like the walnut almond blend. And if you eat that and then follow it with this, it will actually have an effect on how bad your insulin is spiked. So you can actually have a little bit of a blunting response, if you will.
If you can stop at that amount right
If you stop here.
Because it's good for me and you.
No.
We could eat
no self-control.
the entire batch with no, I mean, it wouldn't even, it's
No
be
self-control.
Yeah.
The goal is to skip here. So these sit in my office when company comes, and I just avoid them at this point. I used to snack on this crap all day. Just easy to come to. Like I said, I look at the scale and wonder, why am I not moving? Like, I've had 2 meals today.
Yep.
And then you go in and you go, man, I've had 4 handfuls of nuts. Then you start to go down that road and you realize, man, I got an extra 1,000 calories in that had no benefit to me whatsoever. Hopefully this helps shopping. Now, the thing I would say and what we're going to promote is don't buy any of this stuff, quite honestly. Look for single ingredient foods. We want to give you actionable steps that you can take. Back in the day when I was bodybuilding, it was chicken, brown rice, oatmeal, sweet potatoes. That was it. And then when you wanted to get lean for a show, it was chicken. Cut everything else out. Just chicken, 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 chicken.
I bet that was fun.
Disgusting.
I bet your mental
That's-
state.
Oh, yeah. I was
great.
Yeah, asshole. Yeah. I mean, I was a royal asshole. I was miserable.
Oh, you had to be.
I was young enough to keep the inflammation knocked down. If I tried to do that now,
couldn't do it now.
I would be on fire
Oh.
from an inflammatory perspective.
Oh.
On fire.
Right.
You look amazing, but you're effed up.
But it's also not sustainable.
No.
How many times do people get to bodybuilding, prime, and how long did it stay there?
Dude, the minute that show was over, I was at a Mexican restaurant.
That's what I'm saying.
Myself
The day,
sick.
the day you're gonna go
Yeah.
break that. Yeah, it's just not sustainable.
So, going through all the different variations, and then you start, when you get into the science of it, and there's a lot of smart people out now who talk about what to eat, what not to eat, what it has, but if you listen to all of it, it's the same thing we said about medications and supplements. You can find enough out there for everything to contradict everything. Literally, everything contradicts everything.
It's literally analysis paralysis. There's just too much conflicting information if you're listening to all of them, to where you got decision fatigue. You don't even know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's right. And so what do I do?
Just don't know any of it.
Yeah.
Or you just go back to what you know. So the thing I would say is stop all the noise and start with the most simple thing you can do, which is single ingredient. And you can put, like we talked about yesterday, you can put single ingredients together to make things.
Yes.
But go single ingredient.
Bingo. Now, if you want to go make a 12-layer salad or whatever, go buy those 12 clean ingredients. No seed oils, no preservatives.
Not a pre-packed salad.
Not no. Buy the individual pieces, bring it into your kitchen and make it, and you'll know there's no extra bullshit in here. There's nothing in here that might wreck my gut as a preservative or as a coloring agent or as an enhancer of some sort. It's already good. It doesn't need this. And if you can do that, and then the other thing is like he said, he's got this here because he has meetings here and people come and eat this. He avoids it now, but the best way to avoid it is not having it.
Yeah.
Because if you are snacking on any of this stuff, I don't care which way, I don't care if you pick the healthiest thing here, and it has a little bit of sugar in it in between meals, then you're getting little insulin spikes throughout the day, and insulin doesn't just go up and come right back down in 2 seconds. When it goes in, it has a purpose. It tells your body, hey, glucose is elevated, we need to pull this into the cell, It also simultaneously tells your body, stop burning fat. Do not burn a single, I don't care if this dude's on the treadmill. I don't care if he's running a marathon. Do not burn fat, because glucose is present and we need to uptake this into the cell. And then if you uptake it into the cell and all you're doing is sitting here watching TV, your body goes, well, now that it's in the cell, what do I do with it? It does the only thing that it can do, stores it away for later use, aka turns it into fat. And that's why when you add this in, it'll derail your diet, because it doesn't matter if you're in a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter how hard you're working out. When that signal was coming through loud and clear, that's what insulin is supposed to do. It's telling your body not to burn fat. You're not burning fat. You're not going to lose fat. You might lose weight. It will not be fat. It'll be probably some muscle loss.
That's easier to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the hard thing too, because as I reintroduce foods, there are certain foods that have a lot of nutritional value if your gut can handle it. So like, I'll use blueberries, but that's an easy one. So I set thresholds, like in a meal. If I'm gonna put blueberries into something I'm eating, it's like a quarter of a cup of wild gathered blueberries, which are much smaller. They're not these big old plump.
Oh yeah.
And it's a quarter of a cup, but it's also mixed with like 60 grams of protein, 60 grams of fat. If I'm having fiber, there's a lot of fiber in that meal. If I'm not having fiber, it's so fat and carb loaded that insulin, those blueberries almost don't even show up, because they're like 8 grams of carbohydrates.
Right.
But most people skip that step, or they don't do. So it's not just about the food, it's how you eat the food. And metabolically, where are you? You know, let's say you're doing a triathlon, you know, these guys, it was crazy the amount of calorie expenditure that they had to do on one of those days. And let's say, you know, they're running by and we hand them this Kind bar, or we hand them this fruit or whatever, and they eat it. Well, guess what? They're glycogen depleted, which means, you know, your body converts sugar and turns it into glycogen and stores it in the muscle so that it's ready to go. Well, they're depleted because they're out here just hustling. Well, when they eat this is going to be absorbed and converted to glycogen and utilized very quickly, and it's not going to stay with them. The insulin's not going to stay spiked. It's actually going to be used. And so it kind of depends on, or if, let's say it's immediate post-workout, I would say probably the best time to add carbohydrates or sugars would be post a heavy workout, right after you've depleted all your glycogen stores. Your body's kind of in a state to where it's going to be able to absorb it and use it in the best way. But if it's just brought on and it's really not needed, that's when you get into problems, because your body just has to deal with it. It doesn't really need it or want it, but it's there. And so it has to deal with it. And when it does, and especially if that turns into a habitual thing and you're snacking 4 times a day, every day for a month, that's when this will really, really derail you without you knowing it. Yeah. The gas tank's full. It's like trying to add more gas on top of a full gas tank. It's going to spill over. It's not utilized in the car. So in our analogy, that's spilling over into your body, literally.
Yep. And your body can't just eliminate it. I mean, has to deal with it.
Yeah. The first thing to start with is single ingredient foods. Go out there and buy single ingredient foods and give it a full 30 days. Like, don't. We're checking the cameras because these SOBs stopped recording yesterday.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. That's what amateurs look like. If you guys want to take notes, take notes. But we're worried about the content, not looking cool. The thing I want you to do is go to the grocery store with confidence, and we talked about this yesterday. Walk the perimeter of the grocery store. Don't walk up and down the aisles. There's nothing in the in-between that's good for you.
Right.
Zero. I can't think of a grocery store that stores.
No.
Maybe if you go to like... No, I take that back. Even walking into Sprouts yesterday.
Natural grocer Sprouts. I mean, they're going to be better versions, but still,
It's
you're going to
still
get
a
into
bunch of
trouble when
fluffy
you get in the
stuff.
middle of
Yeah.
that store. You go around the perimeter, you're hitting the produce, you're hitting the meat sections, and you can boil it down to its individual parts, and it's whole food.
I literally did. So, I mean, I walked around the outside. I got goat kefir, cottage cheese for my family, eggs, avocados, and then walked to the meat section and got grass-fed, grass-finished steaks.
All whole food
beef,
options.
All whole food.
Single ingredient.
Yep. And then lastly, macadamia nuts. So if you are going to eat nuts, that is the best nut on the planet to eat, but you need to dose it like it's a supplement. So I use olive oil.
Still could be like candy.
Yes, quickly. So I either use olive oil or I use macadamia nuts for my good oil, gamolic acid, all that stuff.
Right.
And so I just balance them the same way. So like this morning, I make a little concoction of macadamia nut butter with, some tested cocoa or cacao, however you want to pronounce it. And I mix that together with a tiny bit of macadamia nut milk, which is like nothing in it, 30 calories, I think. If you do a serving, I splash it in there. And then this is like a pasty. To me, it's like my brownie. I get that fat kid thing I really need, but I'm getting just a serving. Well, it's a little, it's just a little dish. It's just like with my coffee, just trying to get the most out of it. Because let's face it, we're human. Like we like stuff that tastes good. Right. And so I've moved away from trying to get things like pour the stevia in and do this and put this protein in and and make these muffins and these cookies and this. When you get into all that crap, you start blurring the lines again.
You do.
So I just don't do it. I have something with a little taste that I can handle. Now it depends on where you're at. Like that little thing I enjoy, your gut's not ready.
I was just gonna say it. I was
your gut's not ready for it.
Yeah, if you're like me, I've got the leaky gut. I've been, it took me a long time to figure out that was what was going on. That was the root of what's going on. Started in the gut, but because of that leaky gut, just imagine having, a normal gut. It has a barrier to where only food can pass through and it gets digested. And it just stays in the gut, and the gut can absorb nutrients, and it can, protein and all your different things is pulled from it. Anything that it doesn't want stays there and goes straight out the chute. But when you get leaky gut, it's like having little pores or little holes in your gut. And if I ate that, even though it's healthy, quote unquote, it's got omega-3, it's got good protein, and all the, and healthy people can eat it all day long. If I ate that, it would cause massive problems, systemic inflammation, because when it got to my gut, some of those food particles are going to go through those holes. They're going to end up in my bloodstream. The immune system is going to go, why are macadamia nuts here? They're not supposed to be here. Send the cavalry, kill it, get rid of it. It shouldn't have never left the gut. It panics, basically. It fires the alarm, and once that immune system is activated, it's on. It's just like if you contracted the flu. Your immune system goes to war against that just in the exact same way. There's no difference, except when it's coming from quote-unquote healthy food and you're doing it to yourself multiple times a day and unknowingly doing it to yourself. Essentially, you're just pouring gas on a fire, and that fire does damage. It can start affecting cartilage and joints and soft tissue, and it can end up in full-blown, usually once they're manifested long enough, that's where you get the diagnosis. And we can go down the whole laundry list of that. But for someone, if you're dealing with chronic inflammation of any sort, something that's not going away, and usually signs of that are going to be, you're going to have maybe some GI symptoms like bloating or gas. You may just be fatigued. You may be inflamed and swollen, mental fog. Your mood is not going to be the best, and it starts bleeding into all. Your whole life is affected by this bad state. Now, to be able to come back and have something to go, wait, what can I do? What's the one thing that I can do? What I would say, it's to eliminate as many possibly problematic foods as you can. Basically, go on an elimination diet and get down to the essentials. And the easiest way to do that, if you don't know what you're sensitive to, for me, I ended up doing a food sensitivity test where it was a blood test, and it showed based on my immune markers. So it was using my immune system to say, hey, your immune system says it doesn't like broccoli or it doesn't like whatever. And I knew when I did it, I fell out of the chair because of the amount of food allergies I had developed because of the leaky gut. It was the leaky gut. I was eating these foods. They're going into my bloodstream. Once my immune system marked them as bad, they're bad. You really can't turn it off unless you can fix the gut. But whenever I got that, it was an eye-opener. I had to eliminate 95% of the things I was eating, even the healthy foods. Yeah. And by doing that definitely is super impactful. And that's why, the easiest thing is...
That's the hard thing for people to get, is because we've been taught what's healthy.
Right.
and you eat those things assuming you're doing positive stuff for your body.
Or it's something you've eaten your whole life that never caused the problem. That was my case. I was 27 when this happened. For 27 years of my life, I ate all these foods I'm talking about with no problem whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're on my no-no list.
Yeah.
You know, here's a challenge. You know, just think about it from this standpoint. If, and we talked about this yesterday, so if you were, you know, if somehow, and we're going to turn this into a pharmacist kind of angle thing, we'll turn it into a pill for a second. If we could make a magic pill to where you could take a pill and it had the perfect macro profile, it had all the protein, all the good fats, and if there are carbohydrates you need, it had those too. It had everything the body needs and nothing more. But the trade-off is you don't need to eat anything. Like no food, donuts, pizza, ice cream, your favorite snacks, your favorite healthy meals, whatever that may be. There's no need to eat. Would that make you happy or sad to hear that I had a pill for you, but you don't have to eat no more? You know, answer it honestly. Would that be a...
Yeah, see, I love the taste of food.
Thank you.
I'd struggle with the pill, but there's a flip side, because I'm so mentally disciplined, where I'd go, shit, this just makes it easy. Let me just pop a pill.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, I'm going to go eat some damn cookies. You know, I just go back to the pill the next day. So I don't know. It's a double-edged sword there. But I do enjoy food. Like I would tell you this straight. If we had healthy foods that didn't wreck everything, didn't cause us, I mean, I would happily I would take a job as a freaking, you know, food connoisseur.
Oh,
and
wow,
go
they did.
taste. I mean,
That's a dream job. You kidding me?
Yeah. So
yeah.
For me, I love food. So, you know, and what's funny is you'll get people come, this happened the other day, literally here. So I was like, oh, AJ's just different. I don't know how he does it. Like he's just different. I'm like, no, a cookie tastes like a cookie. That cookie taste for you is this cookie taste for me. It's delicious. Like I am no different. You get to a point where you have to decide health or unhealthy. And at some point you'll get tired enough of being unhealthy that you will find joy in the right foods. And there's a lot of whole foods, single ingredient, that taste good. Like Redmond sea salt has been game changer from a flavor profile. I don't even use any seasonings anymore. I literally take my steaks, take my burgers, take whatever I'm grilling, and I just, you know, especially because I'm super low carbs, you can be a little more liberal with the salt. I just use Redmond sea salt on everything, and because of all the minerals and everything else in it, the flavor is like, I could lick my fingers at this point. I used to hate salt. I didn't salt anything.
Right.
And part of the reason I didn't is because everything you buy has already been so infused with salt, you don't need to add anything to your diet.
Right. A lot of hidden sugar in a lot of stuff too. Most of these things that don't need sugar have stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, but taking it back to what I was saying with that little magic pill, essentially, it gives you the right context to think about how, you know, if I wanted to go as far, you know, if I wanted to eliminate as much as I could and just think about it as the quality of molecules going in my mouth instead of the taste of the food and what I'm craving and what I've habitually been eating for however long. What is the best way to reduce it down to just the quality of these molecules going in to rebuild this body, to give me fuel, and to not bring anything extra, no extra bullshit that the body has to deal with. Mm-hmm. That gives your body the chance to do its job, and the magic of healing is your body knows how to do it. You don't have to you don't have to think about it, you don't have to read a book about it. It knows how to do it. It is designed to heal itself, and it's trying to heal itself, even when you're eating this stuff. And then went back to what you were saying, you know, we're just a few decades removed from when Whole Foods were your only choice.
Only choice.
You couldn't go to the store. You couldn't go get fast food around every corner. You couldn't get all these preservatives. Preservatives didn't even exist.
Growing it, farming it, hunting it.
All of it. Exactly. And back then, they didn't have the metabolic disorders that we have now. They didn't have all the autoimmune crazy stuff that's popping up in America. I mean, it's gone exponential.
Yeah.
You know, the Alzheimer's has gone off the rails, the diabetes, all the metabolic things. Now, don't get me wrong, they had, you know, their lifespan was probably shorter just because it's harder life, but they didn't die from what we're dying.
Well, it's harder life, and the other thing that people don't realize is it was a sanitary issue too. It had nothing to do
Unless it was
because they're shitting where they
infectious
sleep.
disease.
Yeah, they're shitting where they sleep. There was no sewage system to take the shit away.
Right.
So, I mean,
So we kind of take the best of both worlds here, and we got better sanitation, we got better health care.
yep.
We have way more food options, but if we would reduce it back to reflect what they were doing, our health would be prime.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you see it with all the gene therapies and everything they're doing now too. Is it's modulating your immune system to go. It's the best killer on the planet when it's pointed at the right thing. When it's pointed at the wrong thing, you're in trouble. So that's where I would be very, very cautious on what's going in your body, because like you with leaky gut, if you're pointing at the wrong thing, then all of a sudden your body is doing a fantastic job of killing you.
It's doing the best job. There's nothing on this planet that could do it better.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can get on those high-powered drugs. All they're doing is making your body not work the way it was supposed to. They're turning down the immune system to where it can't do
Do its job.
its job at all. And that includes protecting you from cancer cells and infectious diseases.
Right.
It's not just turning down your inflammation and helping you. It's also hurting you.
Yeah. And that's the part that's gray area for us being in the profession, is we dispense these drugs. We help people with these drugs, you know, and it's not to knock them. I mean, if you can't fix some of the other things, then you probably need to be on the drugs to at least calm down what's going on.
Yep.
But even if you're on them, please.
Well, and please know there is a root
changes.
cause that is telling the immune system to do what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's not the problem. So you're going to treat the symptom, and you might make that symptom better if that's inflammation. Is it going to go completely away? I can guarantee you from firsthand experience, it never fully went away, and I have been dispensing these drugs for 15 years now, and I've never seen a single person where they just said, I'm completely cured, like this is the magic thing, and I'm so much better. No, they've got to stay on it, you know, for basically the rest of their life, and usually it wears out. It only works for so long. It's like a rotating door. They got to keep trying a new drug and a new drug, and eventually something, you know, it impacts their immune system in a way to where they'll either get, you know, an acute infection that normally would be passed in a week. They'd clear it and be fine, but since their immune system's basically turned off, it blows up and they end up septic and they end up in the hospital, and there's further, you know, I mean, we can go forever.
That's a different rabbit hole,
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. But
it all comes back to, like you were saying, is feed the body fuel. Think about your food. The Scumford person loves food. Your food is the fuel. So how are you going to optimize the fuel ratio? How much gas, how much oil, how much oxygen? Like, what's that ratio? I like cars, obviously. What's that ratio you're going to give to optimize the body's performance? And you will feel it. As much as I love food, I will turn it off quickly because of how I feel.
Same.
The ecstasy of the flavor and the taste and the, you know, having that full gut and I want to take that. Like, I enjoy all that.
Right.
But then I've got 3 days of hell to deal with
Exactly.
after I've done
I'm
that.
glad you said that, because of that, and because of years and years of that, not just like a few months, but I'm talking more than a decade of every time I made that decision to go indulge in something that I liked the taste of, that I knew wasn't good for me, and then having to pay for it for the next 3 days at least. It's where I came up with the quote that I always say is nothing tastes better than good health. Nothing tastes good. It's not worth the trade-off. 5 minutes of chocolate cake is not worth 3 days of inflammation and brain fog and irritability and low energy and sleeping like crap and all your relationship suffering. It's just not worth it. It takes you 3 days to overcome that one slice of cake, at least in my position. And so for me, I always ask the question, does this taste better than good health? If it doesn't, I don't eat it. Now, don't get me wrong. On my diet, I enjoy every bite that I take. I don't suffer on my diet. It is a limited and it is a restrictive diet, but I enjoy every single morsel of it. But it is an elimination diet. There is not a whole lot. I've reduced it down. That's about the most eliminating diet I can think that there probably is on the planet.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing because we don't want to blanket solutions for.
There's not a blanket solution, and that's why we started with the whole foods approach. Please, if you don't have chronic inflammation or anything similar to my story, at least do this. This is going to help anybody on the planet. But if you do have if leaky gut's already there, you've already got a lengthy list of food sensitivities,
and
then dial it down. And I'll just, there's a million different diets. I'll give you mine. Mine's carnivore. And we can go, we'll go into more depth on that on a different episode. But, if you're in that case, try it for 30 days. Just look into it, try it, and I promise you, if you don't see a benefit, I'll be shocked.
And that's where it's a per person thing, right? And that's where we have to, because you may not have leaky gut, but you still may have sensitivity. You may be histamine intolerant, and then there's a whole laundry list of foods that are high histamine foods. So even though you don't have leaky gut, you're still going to be dealing with some. So this isn't that simple. I mean, I've just had a handful of people. They're like, "Why are you guys holding the secrets? Just tell us what to do." And I'm like,
"There's not a blanket.
There's not a blanket. If I could just tell you what to, this is the most blanket thing I can tell you is whole foods, single ingredient. Mm-hmm. If you go there and you take out the toxin load of all this other stuff, you're going to be light years ahead of the majority of the population. Right. This is your cheat code right here.
And this is just the source. We always go back to food because that's your sustenance. That's your fuel. That's what's helping your body to rebuild itself and repair itself. And whenever it's optimized, then you sleep better. You wake up more energized. You're in a better mood. You're optimistic, which means you're feeding your brain better thoughts. You're feeding your entire being. It's not just your stomach and your gut, but it's like, and when you're doing that, then all of a sudden you're more creative, you're funnier, you're easier to get along with, your business endeavors usually work out better for you. Everything starts clicking, and so it's not just food. Like, think about it as more than that. It's even brain food. It's just life food.
And I would say it's like the chair we're sitting in. One leg doesn't hold this chair up. So there's the mental aspect, which is a different episode.
Yep.
And there's environmental aspect, which is a different episode. Yep. And we'll go through all of those. Mm-hmm. So if you think about, I would say those were probably the 3 pillars.
And emotional. I mean, that's a whole...
Falls in mental. We'll go into all those. We just want things to be actionable. This would be the first action I would take because this is the easiest one to control.
And anyone can do it.
Anyone's going to benefit. Anyone can do it. And it's not more expensive. It is not more expensive. You should be eating less, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the cost, like, yesterday I went and got grass-fed, grass-finished ribeyes. They're like $20 a pop. So, yeah, they're a little more expensive. But if I were going to be doing it, let's say for my family, I would get the steak and some ground beef and then make hamburger patties for everybody and then maybe slice some steak up. And like, there's ways you can effectively do it and not skyrocket. And what I would ultimately argue is it costs a lot more to be sick over time.
A lot
more. And
not just in suffering from the disease.
I'm talking physical dollars.
Physical dollar bills and time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, we have whole other things on that. So this is one of those investments that if you spend a little bit more and you refine down and you actually eat in your calorie zone, I don't think you're going to spend a lot more if you really go look at what you're spending on all day, every day.
And if you think about it like that, if you're conscious about your food choices and not just for like what's the next meal, but what am I going to eat for the next week? What am I going to eat for the next month? Kind of plan it out and have a plan in place that you can execute so that you're not just chasing cravings. We can all wake up and go, man, some donuts sound good. Let's go some donuts.
All sounds good.
But if you've planned for it, and you can even plan in a cheat day. I'm not saying don't have one. We're all human, and special occasions are going to happen. You're going to have things you have to attend and social events. And if that's going to happen, then, on the 27th, I'm eating whatever I want. I'm going to go have this specific cheat meal or whatever, but plan the days around it to where it doesn't turn into, I just derailed my entire day.
Yeah, don't fall off the wagon.
Because it's so easy to fall off once you have it, and then you think you're getting away with it. Because if you go an extended period of eating well, and then you add in one bad day, it's not going to hit you like a Mack truck on that first day. You string together 3 or 4 or 5 days,
Which I did.
Oh, you get.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I did.
Mack truck done hit, and it doesn't. You can't just get it to leave in one day.
I did that over a 3-day period. I gained damn well 14 pounds of fluid retention, and like, I mean, yeah, it will grab you by the horns.
And it affects everything.
And that's where people are like, oh, I did that before, but I rebounded so hard. Well, no shit. If you go back to the thing that made you fat, I hate the word diet because people think like it's this temporary thing I'm going to go do. It's like when I started watching Arnold, all these guys, I thought, once I get there, I'm just there. Shit. No one told me, and I'm glad they didn't. I was being delusional gave me 10 hard years of work. You know what I mean? Working towards a goal. And then here I am, none of that, so the same thing is, it's not, when we say diet, it's what's the combination of things you're putting in your body on a regular basis for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
This is not like do this for 30 days, do this for 60 days. Now you can modify over that time, but I'll promise you, I don't care what the diet is. Keto, carnivore, low carb, paleo, you name it, whatever it is, carb cycling, so on and so forth. If you restrict calories, if you go healthier, if you get your body to respond to a new environment and new food, if you go back to what made you fat, you will be fat. You will rebound.
100%. 100%.
There's nothing shocking.
No.
I mean, there's nothing. People act shocked. Like,
Well, the only shocking thing is how, even though we know it's so bad for us, we still want it.
Yeah.
That's the shock.
Oh, yeah.
Is that we know in our brain, logically, like if you didn't have the craving and the memory of how good it tastes, you would never eat it again. It's like, but we're human, and we go, oh, that donut looks good.
Oh, it's a drug.
Oh, that ice cream. Oh, that pizza, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
soft drinks.
For me, it's a drug.
It is a drug.
It's a drug, and I know that, and so I have to treat it as such. Like the 3-day spree I went on, I'm like, oh, shit, if I just had one more hit, and then by day 3, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's with you. You got spare time for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the funny thing is once you take it, we're talking about it like in very personal terms here. Once you take it away from that and make it impersonal, let's say it's for your dog, or like if you got livestock of some sort, or you got a kid, and I could feed them candy bars and soda all day, and they'd love that. They'd have a smile on their face, and they'd love you all day long. You know what I mean?
My daughter was
But you don't do that because why? It's terrible. It's poison. It's addictive. It's going to cause weight gain, metabolic problems. It's not going to be helpful, and it's easy to make that call when it's not you. If I'm sitting here talking to 10 people, it's easy to tell them, here's the perfect thing to do. But whenever you're the one waking up and, and you're going to be in a different, every day you wake up a little bit different.
You sleep well, are you stressed? Are you good? Like all those things are going to affect your
Any
willpower.
trigger can come in. And usually when that cortisol level gets spiked, whether it's poor sleep, whether it's this, that, or the other, there's a million different things. In fact, I've got a short list. I've got an acronym to make it memorable that it's memorable for me, especially the way I say it.
I busted his ass on this yesterday. We lost all of this. This dude came with this crap.
There's usually, if you go down to the source, if you go to the fundamental reasons for why people make bad decisions and fall victim to a lot of these types of foods or worse, especially habitually, it's usually one of 4 things. And I call it B-hat.
Well, yesterday it took him 4 minutes to remember that it was B-hat.
No, it's B-hat. B-hat. You will never forget B-hat. I could have said bath.
And I just said bath. Like, why don't we call this thing bath? You would have remembered it in 2 seconds.
That sounds too good, though. B-hat, because it's got to be a problem thing.
Right,
okay, so B-hat, what that stands for is usually one of these 4 things. You're usually either bored. It happens to me a lot. When I'm bored, I'll just walk through the kitchen. I'm not even hungry. I just walk through the kitchen, open up the pantry, open up the fridge.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite activities.
I'm not even hungry. I don't need it. I don't want it. I just happen to be bored, and I'm like, oh, this, okay.
I still do it knowing I'm not going to take anything out. It's like I need to go check on
Just
all
to
the
go
food.
look.
I just go look.
Still there, okay.
All right, good. Close it. Or I open it. I'm like, damn, that looks good. And I close it back, and I go, it's like, it's something jacked up.
I'm telling you. So boredom, obviously hunger, if you're hungry, and I'm not saying don't eat if you're hungry. Obviously you need to.
Just no hunger versus craving.
No hunger versus craving. And also don't go to the grocery store when you are hungry. That's the one cardinal rule to follow here. If you go to the grocery store when you're hungry, and I know you have, what do you buy? You buy every freaking thing you see. Everything looks good, especially this stuff, and you're going to grab everything and way more stuff than you would have gone had you gone full.
Yep.
You go in there full, you just buy the stuff you need. You buy the healthy stuff. You stay on the perimeter of the store. So boredom, hunger, angry is the first one, or the third one. If you're angry, for whatever reason, there's something, I don't know if it's the cortisol rise or if it's just the stress of it, or there's something about that makes people hungry. And it makes me hungry. I get mad. I just want to go eat a carton of ice cream. And so are you angry? Ask yourself, am I angry? And then the fourth one is tired. Did you sleep like crap?
That one gets me mad.
Yeah. Oh, me too. If I have to pull an all-nighter, or if I get poor sleep like on a flight on an airplane, or if I'm just sick and I don't sleep well, I eat 5 times more than I normally would.
I just stand up late even. When I stay up late, they start to turn on.
Oh yeah.
And then the next day I wake up tired and it's on the whole day.
Well, and that's the thing. When you get the tired thing, usually it's a lot easier to get angry at stupid crap, and then you're already hungry. You're sitting there B-hatting it up all day.
Yeah, taking a bath before you know.
So B-hat. Use that, especially the next time you're tempted by a craving of something that is bad, Go ask, am I B-hat right now? And if you are, just like walk away, take a few breaths, and just realize I'm vulnerable. And it makes you more conscious of it. And just being aware that you're vulnerable somehow makes it easier to walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fighting chemical warfare, an internal chemical warfare. So
well, and you're just making it worse. Like tomorrow's just going to be terrible again if you fall victim to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Planet, Whole Foods. We'll kill this one here. We'll come back and jam on some more topics. Hopefully this was super helpful for you guys. We want you to be well. If you're not healthy, we want you to get healthy. That's our objective. Mm-hmm. We're small. We're growing. Share what you can. If you hung with us this long, we're glad to have you. Our TikTok and this channel are the ones we're super focused on at this point. And we'll try to expand to the Facebooks and the Instas and all that. But it's a lot of work, put a lot of content out. So
it is.
Trying to get as much out there as we can.
And we welcome any comments, especially if you guys have a topic you want us to discuss. We are an open book. So if there's anything that we need answers on that we haven't talked about, be specific. Put it down in the comments, or, get in touch with us in some way, whether it's on TikTok or whether right here on this podcast. We'd love to address.
We'll go as deep as we'll go. We can pull research on it.
Yeah, if we don't know, then we'll find out.
Yeah, so again, we can take it from a medical lens, we can take it from outsiders looking in, we can take it from personal experience. We're happy to go down any of those roads. We just want people to know there are options, you're not stuck, you can gain control, and we want to build a community that can do exactly that. So yeah, till next time, guys.
Thank you.